beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Something like that.
What's up, man?
Shit, buddy, what's going on?
We're already live.
Oh, well,
Nobody's
fuck yeah.
here. But I sent Christy a message, and I've sent... Well, what's going on over here? Error, YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. What? What are you going on about? What are you going on about? Stream status is poor. Well, let's see what happens. Give it a few minutes. It might just be grapevine internet. Quit that.
What's up, buddy?
No, man. Well,
How's the first couple of weeks of the cabin going?
it's nice. I'm enjoying it.
I see you keeping the car this time.
Oh,
you
yeah.
You always kept the car, or
Yeah,
I thought only 24-hour drivers could keep a car.
I am a 24-hour driver now.
Oh,
They put me
you
on the
only
20
work 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Like
We're
basically-
back on excellent. Yeah, I mean, most of the time.
Oh, gotcha.
But, do they love me? You know, because I work. See, okay, so, I am in no manner knocking my former employer. In fact, I appreciate the opportunity. But, the fact of the matter is, I was going in a hole with steady money. I was steady going in a hole.
Right. Steadily going in the hole.
Yeah. So, you have your bills. If all I had was my bills, it would have been a perfect arrangement. We would have all gotten along kindly. It was the fact that I have my bills, but I need tires. And I need my car fixed. And,
The extra money outside of the bills.
yeah. And, I mean, I was just like... I went from, oh, shit, how are we going to pay that electric bill to... Oh, no worries, honey. You know what I mean? Like, in a matter of 2 weeks.
Right.
You know, and it's I'm a hustler. I hustle for what I want. I hustle for what I get. So, they match me. You know, they pay me for what I go get. I go get it.
Hell yeah.
You know.
So what, the majority of your money's in a paycheck because it's all like medical insurance type shit?
I get paid daily on a card.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And then I move that money over to my other
Your
accounts.
bank account, whatever. You're right. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
And I mean,
That's cool.
I'll put it like
It's
this.
daily money then.
I'll put it like this. I was making $780 after child support and everything every 2 weeks at Sam's. As a new guy, I'm not saying if I'd have stayed there for 20 years, I'd have had it fucking made. But nonetheless, I put $300 on my chime twice this week, 2 days apart.
Right.
So,
Right. Hell yeah.
so what's
What's up? But can we pause that conversation and talk about how amazing your fucking bedroom shoes are? Like how have we not? I
my
mean,
Bigfoot feet.
You know what I
these.
mean?
They're warm.
The fuck, bro?
They're warm.
How have I known you this long? I didn't know you had Bigfoot shoes.
Oh, I love these things. I wear them all the time. I had them on for at least one of the audio podcasts, sir. At least one of them. They were on. So I love my Bigfoot shoes. I mean, to the point there's a hole in my...
It looks like you need new Bigfoot shoes.
I love these things, man. They're warm and toasty.
Hell yeah.
Shit.
So we're live. We're up and running.
We're up and running, man.
All right,
Since
cool.
you came in the door.
We're gonna go wait for anybody to show up. We're just gonna do our thing then.
Yeah, I think we have a viewer, if I'm not right.
Is this
Yeah,
the
we got
new-
one viewer. It's Noah. What's up, Noah?
Is this the new account or the old one?
This is the new account. First
Awesome.
episode.
Hell yeah. What's up, Noah?
I sent Christy an email and told her we were about to go live straight once I got this up and running.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And the episode you wanted me to upload is ready. Well, you're an interesting fact.
I always want to hear interesting facts.
Clip Champ won't let you edit out commercials. Like if the YouTube video has a commercial on it,
Yes.
it won't let you edit it out.
Yeah.
It is the weirdest shit. I tried for 5 minutes. I was like, why won't you?
And dude, if you ever get sponsored, if we ever get sponsors, they'll do like, we'll get like, say we do an hour video.
Right.
Every like 5 minutes, you'll get a YouTube ad. And then in between those 5 minute spans is where we can put our ads if
Right.
we ever get sponsors. So you got YouTube ads and you got fucking your sponsors ads. So YouTube's gonna make their money somehow, some way. You better believe that. So if you're playing a YouTube video, you better find a clip in between the commercials, because you can't edit that shit. You better find out what they're saying
We
in that segment.
might be able to afford a subscription to YouTube now. We might. I'll look into it. What is it, $8 a month? I don't really care if I'm verified on Twitter. So I'll give my $8 to YouTube, so I don't have to deal with commercials.
But hell yeah, man. So what you got on the board today?
The same shit we got on the board every week, John. It never changes.
No, it's not. It's definitely different.
What's caught your attention this week?
I mean, dude, other than the fact that you're getting a lot of conflicting information from the environmental disaster in Ohio.
Well, you wanted to tell you we fucked up? Is that what you want to hear?
No, we already knew that. We already knew that. The problem is like, you got residents on the ground saying one thing, but you got President Biden on fucking TV saying completely opposite. And, you know, it kind of makes you wonder,
Well,
like, what the fuck, man?
okay, so I'll
let me tell you this real quick before you
Yeah.
President Biden says within 5 hours of this disaster, he had EPA and government officials on the ground in Palestine, Ohio, East Palestine, Ohio. The residents are saying it was days before they saw any government officials.
It was days.
The Norfolk Southern employee, like the company officials were out there, but there were no government officials out there for days.
No.
President Biden saying just a couple hours after that they was out there. So, you know, that's what really catches my eye this week. It's like, you can say whatever the fuck you want on news, whether it's true or not. It doesn't matter, because what you're going to do, if it's not true, they'll just print a retraction and no one will ever see the retraction. But
What?
if I'm the first person to tell you something, that sticks in your head, even if it turns out to not be true.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then you really have to dig into it to find out what the truth was. It shouldn't be like that.
It should not at all be like that. And it's been like that since the beginning of the Obama era. Since before that. Long before that. We just didn't start questioning things till things caught on fire for the first time. Then we started questioning things. But no, it's been like that a long time. Like, the news gives you an opinion more than it gives you facts. But you know what got my attention? We're not the conspiracy theorists anymore. Now you got like normal people going. Oddly enough, a movie came out a couple years ago called White Noise about a train derailment and them trying to cover it up. And I'm like, have you ever seen a Western? Hasn't every Western you've ever seen involved a dirty railroad company or a dirty mine? But, like, these people have been the mafia of American transportation since the early 1800s. I'm sure they've got all kinds of loopholes and friends they can call, and they said they wasn't even supposed to be shipping chemicals on these tracks. I'm sure that's not the first time chemicals went across them tracks.
No, for sure. For sure. But you know, you get a lot of oh well, President Trump's the one that lowered the
you know what?
Lowered the requirements or the regulations.
If he did, and now we know why them regulations were in place.
But President Trump's the one that lowered those regulations to cause this train derailment. Like, it's never about
the moment right now.
Let's fix this for the residents.
It's not about the
fact
fact
a blame
that,
game.
It's not about the fact that Pete Buttigieg had looked at a journalist and went, you know what? Let me get your picture. Which, dude, that screamed Third Reich threatening when he did that too. Like, do you mind if I take your picture? Like.
It's funny that you said that. It's funny that you said that because
his haircut and the way he looked at her, like sideways, like, do you mind if I?
Did you see?
Like, I was like, man, I could. If you had a little gray, I'm just glad you didn't wear gray today. That's all I'm saying.
I gotta see if I can find something for you. And like I said, I run across shit all the time. Most of the time, it's just TikTok and oh shit, oh fuck. Oh, I didn't even bring my fucking glasses. I'm not gonna be able to see this shit.
No, man, like this whole train, like it. But there's been a bunch of them. Like, there's something going on. Like, I saw a thing today, and I didn't have time before you got here to really put it together. But there's been, if somebody else would have put it together in a short video, I would have had it. But I didn't have time to do it. There's been like 5 pipeline explosions in the North American continent in the last 24 hours.
There's been what now?
5 pipeline explosions, like fuel and natural gas, not in North America, on the North American continent, in the last like 24 to 48 hours.
Huh.
I haven't had, I read there was 2 in Mexico. I read they were having a problem with a pipeline in Texas. And I think I heard the other 2 in Canada, but I did not complete so I don't want to, this show's for entertainment purposes only. You can fact check me all you want. If I said something wrong, just tell me I said something wrong, and I'll be like, oh, my bad. I'll grow with you. You know?
I'm not going to be able to find it now, but... Dude, I was watching this fucking video. I think it was on TikTok or maybe YouTube this week. And the guy was talking about the money that we're giving to fucking Ukraine. And one of the fighting forces in Ukraine that we're giving a lot of money to has a battle flag that's very, very eerily similar.
Is it the Azov Battalion?
It's this month. I don't know what it's called because, like I said, I don't do research. I just watch videos and I see shit that piques my interest. This motherfucker, I swear to God, there was fucking SS on the flag.
Yes.
I swear to God, their battle flag had SS on it. It's like a neo-Nazi fucking... Dude, it's so similar, it's very scary. And, like...
Dude, we've talked about this.
But we don't care. We don't care. Because all it is the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Oh, no, we do care. Let me tell you what happened.
We don't like the Russians now. We're cool with the Nazis.
No, let me tell you what happened. This is what happened. So we've known for years that the Azov Battalion, since like the Obama thing where he was trying to give them blankets, we've known the Azov Battalion was a neo-Nazi organization. You can look up documentaries all day long. Zelensky even says in a speech, and it's fairly easy to find, where he says, the Azov Battalion loves their country and they're defending it. Past that, they are what they are. Okay, well, that's fair. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Russians were falling from the skies and 5 Klansmen ran out, would you tell them to go home?
I mean, as long as the Klansman's killing Russians.
There you go.
That's
So and that's what he said. But anyway, the Republicans, or a group of Republicans, I don't golden calf anybody. Like I said, if he lowered the regulations on the train, he did that. Oops. That's why we have them regulations, Donald. Put those back. Don't do that again when you get back in. That's why. Ask somebody.
If.
But anyway, forgot where I was going. But
don't know where that rant was going, but
but
smoke some more fucking weed.
No doubt. No doubt. But
completely lost that train of thought, didn't you?
Zelensky's just.
But yeah, dude, it's unreal, man. And like, they keep giving him money. They keep giving him money. To a point, I get it.
Oh, the Azov Battalion. That's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
We've known they were a neo-Nazi organization. A few Republicans got together and kept putting. When we were sending money to the Ukraine, they kept putting this thing in that said, "No money shall go to any white supremacist, anti-Semitic, or Nazi-related organization from this funding." And just at the last minute, Pelosi yanked that out. Oops, and then they pass it. Well, they finally squeezed it in about 7 months ago. They finally squeezed it in just before they voted on it, and it got passed. And when it got passed, Zelensky immediately did an announcement saying that he was absorbing the Azov Battalion into the regular army. And giving their commanders immediate commanding status of their battalions inside the Ukrainian army. And dude, they literally, like, they have swastikas painted on the side of their tanks. They are a neo-Nazi organization.
You know, am I
if you watch Ukraine on Fire, that's your homework this week, Fight Club. If you watch Ukraine on Fire, they explain that the United States literally let Nazis run off into Ukraine at the end of World War II, and even slapped them some money so they wouldn't starve to death.
Well, we talked about this last week. What was that, Operation Paperclip or some shit?
Yeah.
That was 1,700 Nazis in this country, not worldwide.
That's just in this country.
That's just in this country.
Hunting
Dude,
Hitler.
They found in Argentina or like
Hunting Hitler, man. That
Uruguay.
dude lived. That dude lived. I don't know where.
Maybe it was Uruguay or some shit like that. Dude, there's a fucking town in South America that speaks German. Like, they celebrate Oktoberfest. Like, these motherfuckers are German, but they're brown skinned Latin American people, but they're Germans. You cannot tell me that some
Those
fucking
underground Nazi bunkers and
yeah, bro, they escaped. Hitler most likely didn't. You know, his doppelganger has to be exact because that motherfucker looked exactly the same. So
yeah, I don't.
so we can get into that.
Yeah, that could be a. You know what? That's a go watch hunting. Just go watch Hunting Hitler and think for yourself.
That show didn't do shit for me. That show just pointed out some evidence that I kind of already knew about, but it didn't really do anything to prove anything. It really was a whole bunch of speculation.
It made it a cold case.
Yeah.
Because we don't have a definite body. Russia won't let us really look at it. They won't give us any DNA evidence off of it, which is shady as hell by itself. You know, and then there's the evidence of the sunken U-boat off of Argentina and the weird Nazi youth schools.
Right.
But was it a worldwide movement? Like, did Hitler escape, or did it have a much bigger following than our history books try to let on? Do you know what I mean? Like,
you know,
that would be a conversation.
I always
want to
think that I can kind of put myself in other people's shoes. And I've done this a couple times in my past. You know what I mean? I've thought about things like this. As the leader of the Third Reich, with the Allies in closing in on me, there's absolutely no way, and because you got to understand Hitler. Hitler was a very narcissistic type human being.
Right.
So self-preservation is at the top of all fucking narcissists. You know what I mean? It's like the very top of their existence. Everything is about them. Like they think if they died, the world would be missing out because they're gone. That's a narcissist, bro. And Hitler was definitely one of those. There is no fucking way. Look, like, you knew 7 to 10 days. If your army is half of what you say it is, you knew 7 to 10 days ago that you were defeated. And there's no fucking way a narcissistic leader like him is going to hide in a bunker for 7 to 10 days. He took off. He's gone. Gone. Whether you say South America, Africa, he might be fucking living in China still nowadays. You never know. I mean, dude, it's hard to tell.
They did find the Braun relatives down there, which I found very uncomfortable.
Yeah, the white, the girlfriend or whatever.
Yeah, her family for some reason moved to Argentina.
Not for some reason. Look, we have learned over the past few years that it's not, you can't really say for some reason.
Right.
There is a reason. And it's common sense. You know, if Eva Braun's family moved to fucking South America, it's because Eva was in South America. Why the fuck would a German go to South America just out of the whim? I think I'm just gonna live there. It's not. It's a fucking rainforest, bro.
If you're from Germany, the sun in South America is not going to be your
hot shit, bro.
Nor the food.
That's some hot shit. It's perfect place to go brew some beer, shit. But yeah, dude, there's no way that I can be convinced. Like you know, they showed us a body, okay, but I cannot be convinced that that's the way Hitler chose to go out.
Right.
Was hiding in a bunker. Nah. This motherfucker bounced. He bounced. He was gone. South America, probably prime location. You know what I mean? If I think of places on Earth that are kind of lawless,
especially back then,
I think South America and Africa. Like countries in Africa and countries in South America just seem lawless to me. Like you can't even name some of the countries in South America.
If you rolled up on the beach of South America, Venezuela, for example, you roll up on Brazil or Argentina.
Brazil's a democracy like us.
You roll up on Argentina, and the president, the army shows up, and you're like, I want to talk to the president. And the president shows up, and you roll a couple gold bars off the front of the U-boat and say, you didn't see me.
Disappear. Gone.
I didn't see you.
You didn't even need that.
What?
Dude, couple gold bars, you just made half the army rich. A couple gold bars translated into pesos, holy shit. You're the fucking richest man in South America.
You just buy it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't need that. I mean, dude, you really don't need that. You could just walk right in them motherfuckers and just disappear sometimes.
They got underground bunkers and shit.
Of course, you have
to
have your connections. You got, you know,
you didn't
dig
dig up
that way to translate your money into pesos.
You didn't dig up that cow pasture and build an underground bunker the size of a football field and nobody noticed going by with their little donkey.
Right.
Nobody knows you. You didn't bring that many white people ashore and nobody noticed. The kids at the school didn't start coming home throwing up Nazi salutes and screaming Heil without mom and dad at least being like, what? What'd you learn in school today? We learned about the future leader of the world. Wow. The what? The what? And then we marched around like this. People noticed. You didn't sneak in there. People noticed the white kids with the weird playground that looked a lot like an army obstacle course. You know what I'm saying?
Never.
That weird new symbol that just got rose up in stone above the top of the school. I'm sorry, but like I was watching Hunting Hitler, that's the shit that caught my eye. I was like, wow, like somebody built this.
Absolutely.
This didn't just show up here. Somebody built this.
Yeah, no, you don't have whole towns in South America that speak fluent German and fucking celebrate German holidays without some kind of German motherfucking influence. I'm not just saying, I mean, come on. I mean, I'm not talking.
There's serious architecture there.
I'm not talking just one generation.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking. They had kids. Kids had kids. Kids had kids. A great grandparents.
Well, they found that one old man, and they interviewed him, and they said, he was like 98, and they were like, was Hitler here? And he looked at the guy, and he put his head down. He said, he don't want to answer any more questions. So, like, it's like.
I mean, to me, that's a yes.
It's a yes, yeah. Yeah. This dude's on the other hand, this dude's a Nazi hunter. I don't really want to talk to him anymore in this town. You know what I mean? Like, it's very uncomfortable.
So what's you got up there? Russia? What's the Russia upgrade?
Oh my God! Russia went full on G.I. Joe. I guess Cobra. Russia went full on Cobra. Dude.
But that just assumes that we're the good guy. I think we've confirmed that we are not. We are not.
It does. Let's indulge, shall we?
We shall.
Oh, that's not it. Yeah, this right here, this was fun.
This weird new tool is quickly becoming the most popular Christmas gift for gardeners in 2022. It combines all
It's finally happened. For the first time in history, as far as we know, American F-35 stealth fighters have had a close encounter with stealth fighters from another nation, specifically China's J-20 Mighty Dragon. Now, I don't want to lie to you, this was not a fight, but it was a professional encounter that allows us to glean some things about how China is operating its growing stealth fleets. Let's dive into this and what American defense officials say they learned. I'm Alex Hollings, and this is Air Power. Before we get started, I just want to apologize for the late drop last week and just how crazy my schedule's been lately, but I am finally back in my office. Last week, I was in Naples, Florida for the Business Executives for National Security's 40th Anniversary Policy Forum, and
So I've got to get a Fire Stick where I can download the videos I want to watch. So anyway, this thing was badass. They invented a drone that is like almost the size of a full-size airplane that is designed to fly in with G5 or what's 5G. 5G technology allows it to communicate and accompany a 5th gen fighter and automatically act as its wingman.
I mean, that's cool.
That's
I mean, even if the enemy did create that, that's cool as shit.
That is, and the video, it can also be remotely controlled from like a guy with goggles, and but it could also automatically communicate with the plane and the pilot and act as its wingman by itself.
Yeah.
I keep saying
that's
and
cool.
Yeah, I keep saying, and nobody like everybody looks at me funny when I say it, but I keep saying it, dude. Russia's got a garage that they haven't opened yet.
I think we give Russia too much credit. I think we give China too much credit. You know, I really believe that, and maybe it's just from the comfort of my American citizenship, I don't feel like Russia or China is a threat to us personally. They are only a threat to our assets overseas. I have always been in that camp. Like, America cannot, it is literally impossible to invade us. The only way to win a war against us is going to be cyber or attacking our allies overseas and drawing all of our interest to one spot. You know what I mean?
I pick that bone. I believe we could be invaded. I could give you one, and we've had this conversation a couple times, so don't let me bullshit you. I've walked away more than twice. I walked away more than twice from this going, that's not true. No, and here's my honest. Okay, so I would kill for a squirrel map or a green screen so I could go full weatherman on this. So I'm going to use my invisible whiteboard. So, map of the United States. You're right. You don't want to land in the South. You don't want to land in New York. You don't want to come in through Michigan. I'm assuming like this is me under the assumption that either Mexico or or Canada just say, shh, go ahead. All right. So without so you don't really want to come in through the north. You're going to hit, if not rednecks, at least hunters. At least hunters and farmers. If they got guns, they'll fight. You don't want to come in through LA. You can't come in through a major port. You can't come in through New York because you're too heavily populated. You spend so much time controlling citizens and fighting citizens that they'd hold you off till the military showed up, and then you're fucked. So you're right. But let me introduce you to Mr. Weak Point, Baja California. The cartels aren't going to fight you. They own it. Mexican president ain't see. Dude, I don't know if you know this or not, but dude, Mexico's this long, and everybody lives here.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Okay, so there's some desert dwellers out there. There's a couple people like doodle trimmers.
But the thing is, when we say the words invasion, you can't invade Baja California without plenty of prior notice. That's the key. We can mobilize people everywhere. You do understand that, like, and of course you do because you're former military. You understand this. Like, war, it's a very profitable thing for certain people, but even during a wartime situation, the veterans that are fighting in these wars, they learn a lot of tactics and they learn how to build things, like IEDs. And then the war is over for them and they come back home. Dude, we have hundreds of thousands of veterans that know how to build bombs. A literal invasion is bro, like I feel very safe and secure here.
Oh, here?
Here.
Here. Oh, yeah.
Here. Like I don't worry about Russia or China. I really don't. Like I feel very confident in our military's ability to protect our homeland. I'm more worried about them striking our assets overseas, and that draws us to them and leaves us vulnerable. That would be the only possible scenario.
I feel like we have
what's the thing?
We have poked the bear enough times. Dude, I mean, you know, the guy from China the other day, why did I not put this video up? You know what? Slap me twice. I should have put this video up. He said it outright. And he didn't make any threats. He didn't say, I'm going to do anything. He just spoke the facts. He said, America has invaded 56 countries.
For sure. We have no room to sit here and talk about anything.
America has meddled in the elections of over 100 countries to a total of over 500 times they've tried to meddle in people's elections.
For sure. Including Ukraine.
America has actively attempted to assassinate a world leader
and successfully
25 times
and have been successful
in the last
times.
20 years.
Yep.
This is what the man said. Now,
that's facts.
You know, like I don't take anything. If that was my daddy yelling at me about a list of things that I had done wrong, I would know. He's about to hit me.
Yeah.
He's got and I don't feel
when
like,
violence is coming.
look, man, I don't know that they won't. You know, they can't take our country. You're right. But they don't care to lose a couple 100,000 troops.
No, they don't.
The Ukraine war, you know what the Ukrainian general said? He said Russians are fighting right past their
Hell,
dead
did you hear the
comrades.
speech that fucking Putin gave to his fucking Congress? He's 100% right.
There's a lot of complexities in this whole
he's
situation.
100% right. Everything he says is 100% right. We deem it as not able to be talked about or whatever the word is, you know what I mean? But he come out and said it. You know, you force preachers to marry same-sex couples. Like, as the Russian Orthodox Church, we don't believe in that shit. Like, he flat out says it.
Right. And
he knows he got gay people in Russia, but you're not allowed to, be free or whatever.
You can be gay, but you're going to be gay if you're
in your house.
Yeah, in your house.
You can't be gay in the street.
Mm-mm.
You ain't gonna be kissing on no man at the bus stop.
Like I said, the guy.
I think they would fucking terminate you right there.
The guy Trump killed.
They don't play, bro.
The guy Trump killed in Iran, that general. The way he reacted, his news interview. I mean, he was literally
that son of a bitch.
He was literally throwing homosexuals off of roofs.
Yeah, they don't play.
They call it an honor killing. It's a Sharia law country. You can't look at it if you're not familiar with the lifestyle of Sharia law and the rules, and you can't judge it by your own understanding because it's
just like trying to judge history based off of today.
It's like going to Georgia,
you know what I mean?
and they tell you got to be 25 and buy cigarettes. What the fuck? But anyway.
Yeah. Well.
But anyway.
Go to South Carolina, hoodlum.
But anyway. Yeah. But this reporter comes up, and she's like, "Excuse me, but you have been accused of what is it, crimes against humanity?" And he says, "For what?" And she says, "For the genocide of homosexuals."
Wow.
This man looks over his own shoulder. And then he does this fake ass look the other direction, like. He looks right back at her dead in the eyes and he goes, "What homosexuals?"
That's where
you know, you seen everybody else like step back, like where? People in the background start looking around like,
no homosexuals here.
no, I ain't seen that. You know, and it was like 2 weeks later.
Dude, it makes you realize, like,
2
we
weeks
got it
later.
good here.
2 weeks later, he got hit on the Tamarack. So if you were mad at Trump for that, hey, you know what?
Hey, just goes to show, man, we got it good here.
I got a kick out of, dude. You know what? I get a kick out of it, but this creeps me out a little bit. Did Jean Pierre work for the Biden administration at any point?
Who?
Jean Pierre, the press secretary.
Yeah, well, she was the press secretary before, but she was.
She worked for the Obama administration?
No, I don't think it goes that far back, but I want to say she was on, like, I don't know, but they go back. They go back a little bit. What was it? Maybe his, I don't know. She was somebody to him. Like they knew each other.
Right. Well,
I can't remember what role she was in.
I just found this to be a weird Freudian slip. Let's.
Because this chick right here is horrible. And lesbian.
I mean, yeah, you can't say that out loud.
I did.
But dude.
But she's horrible. You can clearly tell she can't do her job.
She's not. No. You know why? Nobody can do that job. I applaud her for trying to defend that. You try just because you have the audacity, you know, the balls to go out there every day and dare look Peter Ducey in the eye,
right,
and take a question. No,
they do. Peter Ducey and the other dude. There's another dude that she never calls on. I forgot his name, man. This dude, man, they lay into her.
It's the looks of the people around her. But anyway, let me turn this up a little bit.
Yeah, I think this was the assistant to the redhead chick.
We haven't had a briefing in some time. I have 2 more for you, and I promise we'll get to your questions. Okay, so today, as you all saw just an hour or so ago, President Obama announced that, President Biden.
Guess we know who's in charge now.
So how's that? How's that?
Oops.
You heard that?
Oops. Yeah, she ain't old enough to be around President Biden.
Yeah.
Probably in high
That's
school.
a weird Freudian slip, sweetheart.
For sure.
That's a weird one. Like you let that one out. Like,
Uh-oh.
like just, maybe run it from a basement from a microphone. So you an Andrew Tate fan? Yeah, but I feel like we
yes
could have
and no.
a deep state conversation for 2.5 hours just on that. We don't have time for it.
Yeah, no. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's move on. Yes and no. I like what he says. He says a lot of truth. Unfortunately, in today's society, the truth hurts. So, a lot of people don't like him. I think he's probably, personally, I think he's probably a womanizing piece of shit. From what I see on TV and TikToks, I think he's got some very valid fucking points. If that's how he truly lives his life, is the shit he talks on social media, then yes, I am a huge Andrew Tate fan. I just think social media is mostly fake, and I don't know if it's real.
Right.
It could just be a front. I know he's a former UFC fighter, and he made a lot of his money on that. But he's made a lot of money being very controversial.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, he's also you know, I think he's Muslim, which means that his entire view on relationships and all that is going to be totally
everything.
different.
If he's Muslim, that changes a lot.
Yeah.
Because they believe in like 7 wives and like you don't do shit unless I tell you to. You know, like they believe in complete subservience.
There's this.
What was that word?
There's this video of this guy. He's obviously like, you know, they're in the Middle East, and he says, "This is my wife," and I think he says like Shiva, and he says, "Shiva, what did you ask me for?" And she's got her head down. She said, "I asked you." She said, "I said I wanted to spend more time with my friend." And he said, "I'd like to meet you, to introduce you to my new wife, Taiva." And she's like, "That's not what I mean." He said, "Hush, woman."
Now you get to spend all day with her. Y'all are really good friends.
And there's this girl that shows up. I guess it's TikTok videos keeps popping up on my phone, and it's like a Muslim girl, and she's like, you know, she's like, "If my husband wants another woman, I'll bring him another woman. If he wants to eat, I'll cook him a dinner." Blah blah blah. And I'm like, I looked at Joni. I was like, you know, I'm getting kind of sold on this.
She come in there fucking ready to beat you up. That's great.
Hey, yeah, go make a sandwich and bring me home a woman.
But yeah, no, Abigail, like her generation, but they do not like his ass. Not at all.
Yeah, because I mean, well,
and I think what he's being put through right now is completely political. I think it's just some way to shut him up. I don't think there's any valid. I think the charges are just Trump.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think it's because
Romania has a different set of laws where they can't even speak to the attorney, and I mean they got a lot of weird shit going on. So
well, I mean the girls that he's charging, the girls that they're saying are victims, are like, we're not victims of anything. We haven't. He never did anything, and they still won't even let him off the victims list.
So I think it'll come out in the wash. You know what I mean? But I think it's just some kind of stunt to shut him up.
Right.
So
I don't know. I think a lot of what he says is so true that's why they don't. The new generation doesn't want to hear it. But dude, I mean,
like that video that made him most popular is where he's sitting there with all those females, and they're like, well, we want a man that's like, you know, strong and protective, and he's like, well, you're not a traditional woman, so why would you expect a traditional man? And they're like, what do you mean we're not a traditional woman? He's like, can you cook? Can you clean? Can you do anything that a traditional woman does? And they all were just like, jaw drop.
Yeah.
Like, they had no response because that's how it really is.
It shouldn't have been.
Like,
yeah.
Like, women want a certain type of man, but they're not that type of woman.
Not at all.
And some women are that type of woman, and the men they choose are not that type of man. So you see fucking shitty relationships all the time.
Oh yeah. And I mean,
it is what it is.
Everybody wants to swim. Nobody wants to get wet.
Right.
Nobody wants to put in the actual effort and work.
Right.
You know. And yeah, dude, it took me a long time to finally find a woman that can just simply cook.
Yeah.
Much less wants to take care of me. Like.
Right, but that comes with a certain level of responsibility.
It definitely does.
You got to be there for her emotionally and,
absolutely.
and protectively, and you know, like you gotta. That's a big price to pay. You don't get that shit for free.
No.
Motherfuckers think you just sit around and play video games. No, fuck that.
That's my job as a man.
You're like, you're out there doing shit, and making money, and fucking cutting wood, and like you're out there providing. You know what I mean? It's a payoff. It's a balance.
What is so special about me? And this is funny. I'm just saying, like I'm a very basic person.
Me too.
I go to work. I put in what I consider a solid man's workload in a day, and I get talked to like I'm just cream of the crop. I don't like expect to get praise for doing basic I'm supposed to be doing. Like, I'm supposed to take care of my family.
Did you just edit yourself?
Yeah, I did.
That's pretty impressive.
I've been working on that.
Pretty fucking impressive. Did I get it? I don't think I got it in time.
Well, somebody told me, they were like, I was trying to listen to your podcast, but you cuss like a sailor. And I was like, well, used to be one.
It's not just him, so.
I mean, shit. You want a real conversation, funny. You gotta let me have a real conversation.
That's funny, though. I ain't gonna lie. You just fucking censored yourself. That was fucking amazing. See, I messed up. But that was great.
Man.
Yeah, I look at that. Yeah, that's good news. Something that you and I, we're just basic white dudes. We've been talking about for a couple years now, how we were pretty sure that COVID came from the lab, and now they're like, yeah, it did.
It did. Now.
So what about all the fucking defamation? What about all the bullshit CNN spread? All the lies? Are they going to print any kind of retraction? No.
Why the Department of Energy?
That shit's insane.
Why the Department of Energy?
But why are we not suing China? Are we? Are we suing them in international court?
No, because
for the billions and millions of dollars that we gave away to fight COVID?
You mean for the billions and millions of dollars we sent for gain of function research? Excuse me.
No.
Evolutionary directional. What the guy say on Project Veritas?
Right, but that's different, because we didn't give money to gain of function research. No. We gave money to the NIH, and they.
Okay.
So us taxpayers, that's how we get away with not really having any responsibility. Like, it's Dr. Fauci, right? Am I wrong here? Because we give NIH money, and they tell us that they're not doing gain of function research. That means they're lying. So the government as a whole is not really responsible for what they do. So that person needs to be held accountable.
So just
maybe I'm looking at it wrong.
Just to bring you up to speed, kids, NATO has taken over most of Europe and is making bioweapons.
They have been forever. NATO, the only reason why Europe has any backing is because of NATO and us.
So when Russia screams, I'm fighting Nazis, well,
they might be.
I'm just saying it looks a lot like it.
They might be.
If you've still got PTSD from fighting them, and shit going on in the
dude,
South.
I'm talking about all the billions of dollars that we spent quarantining and locking people down and all that shit, all that shit should be reimbursed.
All of us conspiracy
we
theorists
should sue
were
the
trying
fuck
to
out
say.
of China.
Oh yeah.
But we, you know what I mean?
But we owe China so much money that we could probably just look at it and be like, just call the debt even. We'll call it.
But it'll never happen like that.
No, never.
Never happen like that.
Never. There's not going to be any responsibility held. China will go to war before they take any. China wants to go to war. China's had how many troops? They got like 1 billion troops. They've got a lot of money invested in ready to go to war. To not do anything except for fuck with people on the border.
You know, I learned something this week, and the exact details escape me because I'm, I'm leaning towards a little drunk right now. But I learned something this week, and you know Taiwan was formed not long ago. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't too long ago, because like China had a war within itself, almost like a civil war, and the communists won, and all the nationalists fled mainland China and moved to fucking Taiwan to create their own country, and they made it democratic like the U.S. But the only reason why they're there is because China kicked them off the mainland. These are Chinese defectors.
And then they went over there and they started a very, very profitable
Right, little
chip
tiny
and
island.
pharmaceuticals, microchips and pharmaceuticals,
Yeah.
and China
Fuck
said, you know,
yeah.
kind of like to have that back now.
Right.
Go ahead with your silly little capitalism then. I mean, dude, I heard a guy say it the other day. And if it's not, you know, when you hear a crazy podcaster really say something, you know, the thing is, he's got fans. And those fans got friends and they talk. But he said it out loud, and I don't know exactly how I feel about it. But his exact words were something along the lines of, we need to pull all of our resources home. All of it.
Absolutely.
We need to take the drug war to the level we took the terrorism war. He said, we need to communicate with the countries from which these drugs are coming from and say, listen, you will get these drugs under control, or we will come over and you will help us get these drugs under control. Unless you don't want, for some reason, these drugs to get under control that are coming, in which case is a personal issue.
Yep.
You know, but he went as far to say we need to go tell China straight up, we will go to war with you. You need to stop this fentanyl flow because it is a chemical weapon you're using on our people.
Yeah.
Go to
Unfortunately, we don't have
Mexico.
anybody that has the balls to say that.
Go to Mexico and tell their president, hey, you're going to either help us crack down on the cartels, or you're going to get out of the way.
Nah, I mean, dude,
You know, I mean, like,
dude, I'm not against trade pacts with other countries. I'm not saying we should isolate ourselves completely. I'm 100% convinced that we don't need nothing from none of y'all.
we do right now.
Hold on though. What we need to do as a country, we need to solidify allies over here. Mexico is an ally, but we need to get these South American, Central American countries on our side. We need Venezuela. We need Brazil. We need Uruguay. We need all of the Western Hemisphere needs to unite. And I'm not saying the United States of the Western Hemisphere. I'm not saying we all create one big country.
At least be allied.
At least be allies with each other and not work against each other.
Right.
Because this shit over here, I'm a firm believer that when it comes to countries in the world map, it should still kind of be a little bit of natural selection. I'm not against Ukraine becoming part of Russia. Couldn't give a fuck. They all speak Russian anyway. Who fucking cares?
They're Slavics.
I'm sorry. I don't care. They're white, blue-eyed Slovenians.
It's our
that's
interests.
I don't care. I wouldn't care.
Here's the thing.
You know what? I wouldn't care if South Korea took over North Korea or opposite, vice versa. I don't give a fuck.
I even had somebody who was
bother
hardcore, like orange haired, the other day, talking about it, and even got them to say it out loud. They were like, "Oh, it's our." I said, "But they said it's our interests." I said, "What are our interests?"
What interests? What did they have? Other than a whole bunch of biolabs and some nuclear weapons and a failed nuclear plant. that no one can do anything with.
Years
We're fighting
and
over
years.
Chernobyl.
Years and years of not Biden, but years and years of American government corruption
Absolutely.
all over the place.
Absolutely.
And if the
And the fall of the Soviet Union back in
If
the fucking
Russia-
90s, 80s, whenever that was, 88.
if Russia takes it, and all that becomes Russian intelligence, they would hang.
Yep.
They it would not
You might
look
be right
good.
about that.
It would not look good in front of the United Nations when he opened up the book of accusations.
Dude, I'm not 100%. I'm
mean,
not
I'm-
opposed to drawing a line in the sand, saying, "Look, we're not gonna back down from this line right here, bro."
We need to get the
You
fuck
can
out
have
of
all that shit, cause I'm 1,000% sure that if we fucking backed out and stopped providing them weapons, Putin would stop assaulting them.
here. If we left, he'd leave.
Yeah, because he would take over
Yeah,
when he wanted.
there'd be re-education. But if we left, he'd leave.
Absolutely. And I'm sorry. I don't
don't
I'm
care
sure
what they
there are
do
great
over there.
people in Ukraine.
I
And I
don't-
don't mean anything by that, but on the world stage, it doesn't affect me one way or the other.
I saw this video the other day. Let's see if I can find it real fast. I want to get your live reaction to it.
You know, the country itself has been basically supported by other European countries. Like, it can't even, like, provide for its own.
Right. Yeah, here. This video is showing. Well, it's from TikTok. It says, "Wake up! You're being programmed." Are you ready for this?
Sure.
Blue and yellow, the Ukrainian flag colors. But you've been seeing these colors for the past 2 years.
Facts. Wow. Wow. Man. Fuck y'all. Fuck y'all. That's the reason why I don't watch TV. You're probably right.
That right there.
That shit right there, just in that short clip, I'm like, yep, I see it.
It
That
is.
shit's plain as
And
fucking
it's
day.
undeniable. And I remember it. Like, yeah. Yeah, I remember it. Like, I remember the people crying in Kim gear when it was.
Wow.
They said, so this guy got interviewed in Ukraine, and he said, there hasn't been so much as a cop car. There hasn't been a plane, a plane fly over, any kind of threats, no kind of sirens, air raid sirens, no kind of warnings over the internets or cell phones in weeks in Kiev. And when President Biden was walking through the square, they started air raid sirens just for the news cameras.
It's perfect. Because now Biden's in a war zone.
Did you see him fall down the stairs again?
No, I didn't. I don't watch TV anymore, man.
He
It's
fell
all
down the
this
stairs
person.
again.
Like, I get a little bit of Newsmax in first thing in the
Poor old
morning.
man.
So,
Poor
yeah,
old
dude,
man.
I don't know,
I
man.
think Jill's a
But hey,
reptilian.
did you hear about the fucking new? This is gonna be interesting because I don't know how it's gonna be enforced. It doesn't sound like it can be enforced. But if you're going to run for president as a Republican, you have to sign a pledge that says you'll support the eventual nominee. You have to.
The eventual nominee. So if they just decide to pick somebody else, you have to
No,
support.
so let's say Trump runs,
Yeah.
if he doesn't become the primary, let's say this Ramaswamy guy beats Trump, then Trump has to endorse this other guy no matter what. So if Liz Cheney runs, she'll get knocked out early.
But if they just decided to give it to her because of dirty politics.
But either way,
It's not bullshit. Bernie won twice. They didn't give it to him either time.
Bernie got beat twice because of the way the DNC does shit. You think the RNC's the same way? You think they're really the same way? I don't think they're that underhanded, but they're probably the same way.
I believe the more I've watched how politics works in DC, I believe that there is the DNC Good Old Boy and Girl Committee and the RNC Good Old Boy and Girl Committee.
Yeah, you gotta
And
be a true Republican.
I believe that inside of that, it's not so much bipartisanship as it is they just eat at the same tables. You know,
They do.
And I look, they've got their games they're playing.
Yep.
You know, look, let's take the drug epidemic. If you walk into the Capitol right now, I'm not saying there's nobody in there because everybody's got family that's been affected by the drug epidemic. So there's definitely some senators, some people in the House that want to see this cleaned up, that's affected their family personally. But past that, half these people are involved in law enforcement and funding for law enforcement and levies for law enforcement and that money. And that money's only there because of the drug problem. And these people over here, they're into the medical side of it. They're funding clinics. They've got stock in Narcan and Suboxone.
They're being funded by the results of the drug epidemic.
Yeah. So really, like you're not looking for half of them that want to fix it. You're looking at this thing's broke down into 3 or 4 groups.
Yep. And you're never going to fix
You're
it.
never going to fix it because
It's a sham.
the cops wish they could just put them in a camp somewhere.
Yep.
And there's a certain group of the population that wouldn't mind that. These people over here think, oh no, they're angels, and we just need to guide them in the right direction.
Change. The only thing that changes, nothing changes.
Nothing
you
changes.
Continue to arrest addicts instead of getting to the root cause of how these pills got to the street and the reason why people want to use. No one's addressing that.
No,
That's how you fix it.
that's true. That's
How you
true.
fix it. You figure out why the fuck
There's
it's happening.
so much money rolling through this state. Where's it all go besides in pockets?
It goes in pockets.
Like-
It goes in recovery, and like the only thing most of the recovery people, they use the drugs provided by the federal government, which is methadone and Suboxone. It's all government funded.
We should
So they're
cut the
going to take
lottery.
you off the street drugs and put you on the federal government drugs. And it's a big cycle because Medicaid and Medicare pays for a lot of these drug treatment centers.
We need this state could make a killing just off of recreation.
Oh yeah, and they do. They're like, tourism is huge here.
I mean-
billions, and it could be a lot more. It really could be, but you know, it takes money and it takes investment. And let's be real, a lot of the world still thinks West Virginia is just some hicks out here in the holler.
Well, we are.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, but
we
we're-
got
we're
no
smarter
choice.
than the people think. I mean-
We're as trapped out here in the holler as like the south side of Chicago kids are trapped in the hood. It's the same kind of trap.
Same struggle, same trap. Yep. Just different situation.
Yeah. Well, man, we're up and running on the new channel.
Yeah, that's good shit, man.
Yeah.
Because we can post on our phones and shit now.
Yeah.
Just got to get everything up and running on that.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I haven't started it yet, but on the same note, I'm also going to start my little Justin the Cabbie log on Snapchat, and I'll probably throw those up on here too.
Hell yeah.
Just, interesting things I find out when I'm driving, and
Yep.
random thoughts when I'm driving by myself out in the middle of nowhere.
For sure, man.
Like I was driving today along the train tracks, and I was like, every fucking Western movie I ever seen, all of them, about a dirty rail company coming through. Rail company's been dirty since 1805. The Indians didn't like the rail company.
Right. Shit, the Indians was the first ones. They was like, bro, the fuck are you
What are
doing
you doing?
here?
Why are there a bunch of Asians in my yard?
Shit.
What y'all smoking?
Not as good as what we got. Guarantee you, we got that ooh wee. The Indians got that ooh wee.
The Chinese had that OP.
Oh, motherfuckers all laid up doing shit.
You brought a pipe, we brought a tent. And a couch.
We're gonna be here for a minute.
All right, man.
Heck
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, shit, decent episode.
Decent episode.
We'll dig in next week a little bit better, and
Well, I mean, we might squeeze another one in this week if you feel up to it.
yeah, dude. I think I still got a couple days off this week, so
Yeah, I got to drive a little bit Saturday, but I should be free on Sunday. But heck yeah, man.
I bought me a trailer today, so I'll be fixing that up and getting my kayak ready.
Well, I'm real good at steering the front.
Steer the front. I'm not gonna have to do that. I'm gonna have a motor on mine.
Oh.
It's gonna be a good one.
Is that a two? It's a two-person, right?
No,
Oh, okay. I thought it was
just
just
a one person.
just a big one person.
13 foot.
Damn.
Yep, you stand up.
Walk around.
It's already got power wired, pre-wired.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
So just take your battery on the front, plug it in. Take your motor on the back, plug it in. Turn that motherfucker on. Done.
Done.
Yep. It's good, man. It's good. I'm working on it right now.
Nice. Well, until next week.
Hell yeah. Thanks for whoever tuned in and whoever may watch in the next coming days.
Parlay.
Appalachian Parley. Share, slide, subscribe with your friends.
Yeah, hit subscribe.
Let them know we talk shit. Talk shit to y'all too.
Yeah. Yeah. Where's Chrissy this week? Where you at?
It's late though. She might have been like, bro, I'm going to bed.
Yeah. See y'all later.
So later, guys.